If the students are asking the question, how do you answer? Your duty. Madam
Kannur.
you start. You start.
We cannot always build a future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. Timely D. Roosevelt. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable resource person, principal, delegates, participants, and dear friends. It is my absolute honor to welcome you all to the third technical session of our one-day international seminar on innovative and creative learning for a sustainable and inclusive world in collaboration with PKM College of Education, Kannur, Kerala. Here, we have an interesting session on sustainable behavior management among secondary students by our esteemed resource person, Dr. Mary George Varghese, Assistant Professor of Psychology, College of Arts and Sciences, Dhabi University in online mode. Without much ado, I would like to call upon Mrs. Sudhi Sadashivan, Assistant Professor, St.Joseph College of Education, Mysuru, to welcome the gathering and introduce our renowned resource person to this session.
Sustainability is not just a trend, it is a responsibility. As Joseph once said, sustainability is no longer about doing less harm, it is all about doing more good. This reminds us, each one of us, our role in creating a better, more responsible world, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. Good afternoon, esteemed resource person, honorable principal, invitees, and all participants. It is with great joy and immense pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to you all to this prestigious international seminar hosted by St.Joseph College of Education, Mysuru, in association with PKM College of Education, Kannur. It is my absolute honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for the session, Dr. Mary George Varghese, Assistant Professor of Education, College of Arts, Education and Social Science, Abu Dhabi University, Abu Dhabi. Dr. Mary George Varghese is a seasoned educator, clinical psychologist with over 2 decades of experience in higher education, specializing in brain-based learning, metacognitive skills, and psychology. She holds multiple advanced degrees, including postgraduate diploma in higher education, MPhil in education, MA in psychology, MEd, MSc in botany, PhD in education from the University of Mumbai. Currently, Dr. Mary George Varghese serves as a visiting assistant professor at Abu Dhabi University, where she teaches both graduate and undergraduate program students. Her research focuses on innovative instructional strategies aimed at enhancing academic achievement and reducing student stress, particularly through brain-based and metacognitive approaches. She has authored numerous publications and has contributed as an editor and reviewer for esteemed academic journals. In addition to her academic roles, Dr. Mary George Varghese is a practicing clinical psychologist affiliated with CareWell Holistic Integrated Healthcare Center in Mumbai. Her clinical works includes offering premarital counseling, addressing relationship issues, behavioral challenges, including learning with disabilities. She has been recognized as a contribution to education and research, and also she has received Bright Researcher Award from International Institute of Organized Research. Apart from this, Dr. Mary George Varghese has always been a well-wisher of our college and is also a classmate of our dear principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, and she has also been a resource person for other sections in the past. With that, I once again warm welcome to our resource person, Dr. Mary George Varghese. Welcome you, ma'am. I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to our respected principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, whose constant encouragement and visionary leadership have played a crucial role in organizing this seminar. Your dedication to academic excellence continues to guide us towards greater heights. Welcome you, ma'am. A special welcome to Dr. Cheluraj Swami Keti, the seminar convener, whose efforts and meticulous planning have made this event possible. Your hard work and dedication deserve our deepest appreciation. Welcome you, sir. To our esteemed invitees, faculty members, and researchers, your presence here today adds immense value to this gathering. Your knowledge and expertise will enrich our discussion and contribute to the success of this seminar. Last but not the least, a warm welcome to all our participants, our dear students, who are true driving force behind such events. Your eagerness to learn is what makes this seminar meaningful. Welcome you all, dear students. Let us keep igniting minds, because every idea planted today has the power to shape tomorrow. May the seminar be memorable, enlightening, and productive experience for all. Once again, my heartfelt welcome to each and every one. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. And I also extend a heartfelt welcome to you, ma'am. Now, with great honor and privilege, I invite our distinguished resource person, Dr. Mary George Varghese, to enlighten us with her inspiring words.
Good afternoon. Thank you to our dear principal, Dr. Priya Matthew. Glad to be always a part of the college through her. I'm very honored to be a part of your program and always a well-wisher, as in the introduction she mentioned the college. Thank you to the management and the principal and all the decision makers for giving this opportunity. All right, okay, yes. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, okay. So can you keep your, yes, thank you so much for keeping your mic mute. All right, so I know it is the afternoon, and just because it is a post-lunch session, I know there are a lot of challenges that would, that would be there with every resource person who are blessed to take up the session. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm a person keep on asking questions. And my sincere apologies that I couldn't make it in person amongst you. Looking at the camera itself, I can see the energy levels that is there in the spirit which is there in the room. I really miss it. And when we were discussing, I promised dear principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, that if there is any possibility, I would make sure that I'll be there. Though we all enjoy the benefits of technology, sometimes in person, the feel is much more better than anything else. The human touch, the physical presence can't beat the technology. That's my opinion. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. Saying so without much delay, let us move on to the topic for today's third technical session, wherein I'll be talking about the behavior management. strategies. I firmly believe that as teachers, we all have certain challenges. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes.
How many of you have real troubles, challenges in classrooms?
It is on now.
I can see all, so you can just raise your hands. All right, okay. So, because I have several challenges, and I mean, wherever I could contribute my roles as teachers. And I know we all belong to the same planet, the same universe, and the same, the professional area. So our professional hazards would be the same. All right, it is all over the world. It remains the same. Now, as a teacher, one of the biggest challenges that we all experience is our classroom. All right. Okay. Let me share my screen as well so that, yes. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So if there is any technically, if it is not moving or if it is anything there, please unmute and then you can comment it also.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, so the classroom is where um, we try to exercise all the skills as teachers and as leaders that we have, right? And we enter into this teaching profession, of course, we have been trained to become the teachers, and some of us are born teachers, but even then, we all go for the adequate the skills and competencies. So in that, many skills are involved. One important skill to become an effective teacher is your classroom. How well you can manage your classrooms. That is the crux of the entire teaching and learning process. If you can't manage your classrooms very well, your efficiency is in question. All right. So that is the reason why when we talk about the sustainability, I thought this is something which I need to talk about it. So in this session, I'll be talking about how well as a teacher you need to understand the behavior of your students, and then how you can maintain a healthy and a positive environment, which ensure a positive learning environment, which is a threat free. At the same time, it brings in so much of the joy to the learners, and of course, it should be to the teachers as well. All right, now let me ask you a few questions. Of course, as teachers, we all are familiar with our
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry
classrooms.
to interrupt. Ma'am, we can't see the slides changing.
Okay, so let me just come back. What about now?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay.
Screen is not
Screen
shared.
is not shared.
We are not able to see your screen.
What about now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it moving now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what can you see on the slide now?
Appropriate behaviors in classroom.
Yes, very good. All right. So this is what I wanted to hear from all of you. What do you think as a teacher? How do you define or what's your expectation as a right or appropriate behavior in classrooms? What do you think? Yes. Volunteers, please help us, the audience, with the mic so that I can also hear.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So appropriate behavior, I would say, is following the rules or guidelines that we provide, and
All
then
right.
acting their age, maybe.
Okay. Active engagement, following the rules. All right. Yes. Anything else? Yes. You can't be quiet.
You know the appropriate behavior in the classroom.
Yes. You sitting quiet is not an appropriate behavior.
Actively participating, maintaining the decorum
Exactly.
of the class, and following
Yes.
the rules and everything, comes under the category of appropriate behavior.
All right. Yes. Yes. Anything more? Anything more?
Respecting our teachers and peer group members.
Exactly. Yes. Respecting our teachers, our, the peers, our fellow students in the class, of course. Anything more?
Doing our work sincerely and on time.
Exactly. Yes, on time, doing our work sincerely. That's again very appropriate. Yes, anything more?
Curious enough to learn.
Curious enough to learn. Exactly. If there is no interest in our students, and if there is no interest in we teachers to teach, how enthusiastic as teachers we are and how enthusiastic our learners are. It's an energy dynamics, right? So I normally tell my students, the student teachers, when you walk in the class, there should be an aura around you. You understand what's an aura? Right, that energy, it is all about the energy, it's all about that physics, the transaction of that energy between you and your students. When you stand in the class, there should be, the energy should be radiating to your students, and at the same time, as teachers, we take in that energy from our students as well. All right, any more points?
Answering the questions asked by the teacher.
Exactly, yes. I keep on asking questions, and if you don't answer, that's not the appropriate behavior. And at the same time, as a teacher, when you ask, you expect your students answering. What about the other way around? When the students ask questions, are we supposed to? Yes, of course. As teachers, we're also answerable to them. We have to give the right, sensible answers to our students. Yes, anything more?
Always engaging in classroom.
Correct. Very much needed for an energetic and a vibrant classroom. That active participation is required. Yes, my dear.
Listening attentively to the class.
Exactly. Listening attentively to the class. Yes, of course, it is very important. Teacher also and students also. Both, all of us. That active listening should be there. Yes. Okay, I also have listed a few points, and I'm sure all of these, what you have said, I just put it. Maybe the wording is little different. That's it. All right, so it's a friendly attitude, very cooperative, seeking permission, not disturbing, punctuality, respecting others, sincerity. So all of these are the right behavior or an appropriate behavior as teachers and as students we expect from our classroom interactions. Okay, now let me ask you the next question. What are the inappropriate behaviors in classroom? Whatever that you said till now, if it is not, it's an inappropriate behavior. Do you all agree with me or not?
Yes, ma'am.
right? So, inappropriate behaviors, disrespecting, disobedience, lateness, or leaving early to the class. And I'm little doubtful about the next 2 points, that is inappropriate cell phone and laptop usage in class. Is it something you experience? You
Yes,
experience?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Yes. So I'm not from a different universe. We're all in the same boat. Yes. The students now, uh, we can't blame them because we are also using those many technologies wherein they need the device. Sometimes the mobile or sometimes the laptop. But then it's become an inappropriate or an inconvenience when they use it for other things, other than the learning activities, other than completing their assignments. May not be in the school, it won't be that problem, but at the junior college level or at the senior level, at the university classroom level, and all, this is a very serious issue that that every the teacher experience. And fights and quarrels, sometimes the bullying. So these are some of the inappropriate behaviors that we experience as teachers. Now, why do you think these kind of inappropriate behaviors that we had to experience in our classroom? What are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? What do you think? Why would these kind of behaviors? And hopefully, you might have heard your teachers, or even for that matter, our parents. We were not like this. In our time, we were always very studious, we were on time, we were very punctual, we were much more respectful towards our teachers. But then there is a change in our classroom dynamics, the way we look at the whole education process. Why do you think? What could be the possible reasons or causes of such inappropriate behaviors? Before me sharing, let me hear from you. What is your idea? If we understand the problem and if we understand the causes, then the solution will be easier.
Yes,
And that's the reason I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe they don't get enough attention in their family. That's why they are seeking attention of the teachers.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, attention seeking. Yes, then. Is that the only reason?
Poor classroom management.
Poor classroom management by the teacher? Okay,
Lack
yes.
of interest.
Lack of interest? Yes, try to reflect your classroom engagements. Your classrooms, and you just have an idea. You just break your head.
Impact of social change.
Pardon?
Impact of social change.
Okay, yes, very much. What else? What else?
Adjustment problems.
Adjustment problems to a greater extent, yes. Yes.
First and foremost, we need to create a learning environment, a very conducive environment, which is very essential for the students to cope up in a classroom so that we could adopt
Yes.
to that environment. And also the teacher is very important, where her competency, she need to be very competent in her teaching methods,
Yes.
so that she could influence and have an impact on the student. Even
Right.
that's the other way of saying of developing a curiosity, motivating the students to learn, all those things
Right.
directly or indirectly influence them to be
Right.
good in the classroom.
Okay.
Lack of motivation.
Totally agree.
Lack of motivation by the teacher.
Motivation from the students and the teachers. Lack of that motivation. All right. Yes. Anything more?
If the teacher teaches ineffectively, then it is a root cause for all the problems.
So shoot the teacher.
Not
Is that
should
you
the
mean?
teacher, if the teacher should teach effectively. Then automatically.
No, I said. Okay. So all the problems are because of the teacher.
Yes.
Is it? Let us shoot the teacher. Let the robots take over. Is that you mean? Of course not. Yes. Largely, whatever, many points, many things that you shared is true, right? The scenario has completely changed. Okay, so it is like the individual problems. It could be the students or it could be the teachers, right? Me as a teacher, me as a learner, when it comes to me as a teacher, my skills, competencies, my lack of interest and dedication to that job, I mean the teaching profession, and when it comes to me as a learner, if I'm not interested, if I'm not getting the proper attention, if I have the personal, the issues, all of that. And then environmental problems. The school related, the classroom related, the poor environmental factors like the lack of infrastructure, a lack of the adequate the facilities in the school. It's all related to, leading to classroom difficulties. Right. And again, the major reasons, the primary reasons of disruptive behavior, according to the research, one is power. Okay? So, who is the leader? That power craziness, right? That could be even among the teachers, right? Who is teaching the best? A competition, kind of competition. And even among the students, like you can understand, like some students are really dominant, outspoken, and some students are very soft and they are very docile by nature, right? And so there is maybe a visible or invisible power craziness or competition that you can see it. Sometimes even the students are really revengeful, and especially these days because they're also exposed to the societal changes, the media violations, and so many things. And then some of them, like, they wanted to get so much of attention and importance, right? And some are like, they want to be alone, that loneliness. They enjoy that loneliness. They wanted to be alone, lonely, I mean, it's kind of like you don't disturb me, I don't disturb you. Don't enter into my territory. So that's kind of lonely students. Also, you would see that they don't show up any kind of emotions. They don't show any kind of interest, and you can't make out what they are going through. Such troublesome or difficult students are also there in your, maybe there in your classrooms, right? So these are, there could be many reasons or causes of their behaviors that you can see, which is creating the job of we teachers tough and tough day by day. And that is where, keeping all of these context in mind, that is the reason why we have to think seriously about the behavior management. All right. So when you talk about the behavior management, for us, it is very important. As I said in the beginning, it is the crux of or one major factor which is going to affect our teaching and learning process. That entire environment. You having a troublesome one student in the class is creating, change the entire classroom dynamics. Okay, so it is very important as teachers we develop the essential skills and strategies how best you can manage your classrooms well. And so for that, you need a proactive you need the preventive, and you need even the corrective strategies. Okay, so I'll go into that details of what are those different strategies, what are proactive, preventive, and the corrective strategies. All right, so the first one is you set the tone. You're the master of the class. Okay, so if you're the master, then I'm not saying that you should be a dictator. Keeping the friendly environment intact, you need to set the classroom rule. How that you can do it? FFC, fair, firm, and consistent. Okay, in the very beginning of your class, what I normally do is, like, the first class of mine goes like, I introduce myself and I ask my students, like, these are my details. Let me know if anything more you need to know about me. I'm very transparent. If you ask me, I would definitely tell you all the details what you wanted. Okay, so that demystifying creates a personal connect. And then the second step, I spoke about myself. I want you to talk about yourself. All right. So if it is a class of more than 30 or 40, I make them write about themselves, giving few points, and it is make it a fun activity. And then the third thing, what I normally do is I make my classroom rules very clearly. Right. So I tell them like these are the do's and these are the don'ts. And if you violate, it comes with a penalty. And I would very clearly make it the penalty clause. And then I put it on record. All right. So this is something very important. Okay. Let me ask you one question. Let us take out our professional cap aside as individuals with whom you try your truths, with father or mother. I need some answer. Pardon?
Mother. Mother.
Mostly it is mother. Agree or not? Why not father?
Because he's strict.
Right? We know that, with mother will be a soft corner. Alright? Mostly the mothers are like very soft. They try to, whatever that you tell them, they believe. They realize it sometime later that you were trying to fool her. Correct? This is the same thing. The students are also very smart. Very smart. Okay? See, the first, and I'll give you a simple example. When you're entering to a school or a classroom in the beginning of the academic year, when you see a person, in the first few seconds, what are the thought process goes into your mind?
Appearance.
What are the thought process?
We'll see her or his appearance first.
Appearance first, okay. Yeah, yes, she is beautiful or he is handsome. After that, the second thing,
Voice
will
modulation.
she be strict or will he be, strict? How good he will be or she will be teaching. Okay? This is what even our students, check.
I just
They
read
try
somewhere.
to develop
Sorry, ma'am.
an image.
Ma'am, it is something
try
like
to
a
understand.
mirror effect where we compare to that person somewhere we have seen and we say, like if we have experience, we say, yes, she looks like my mom who is very strict. She looks like my teacher who is very kind. So that thought we
Yes,
get it, and we try to keep that forever. Even though the teacher is very soft
exactly.
to us, that first notion comes
Yes,
to us.
yes. It's very much. This is a very natural human tendency. When you meet somebody, you try to develop an image at the first impression. Okay, and that slowly, you further expand it, you develop it, and you prove yourself whether it is true or not. Okay, so this is what exactly, even the students do it in the initial days. Every interaction with you, they try to understand that how well I can manage with this teacher. If I talk, if I don't complete the homework, if I don't participate, what the teacher's reaction? You got the point. So you set the tone. You make them very clearly what are acceptable and what are not acceptable in your classroom. And be firm, which does not mean that you are not loving them, you are not respecting them. It's not. Still, you can be a friendly individual also. The second thing, you plan, you plan, you plan, you plan. That planning is most important. If you don't plan, you're going to fail, you're ready to fail. It is very important. As teachers, I know we have our lesson plan. We have our we keep our what's it, the activities ready. We use the different, the strategies. We keep our assessments ready, everything. But sometimes we are also, take things advantage. I've got so many teachers talking, like, I've been teaching for the last so many years. No, every classroom is something that you have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, as something new or as a novel one. Your challenges varies from, years to years, the batches to batches, from classes to classes. Your challenges are different. So you need to plan your class well. It's very important. Even though you are teaching at the same subject, the same class, right? The students may be different. Right. So the challenges are also different. So it is very important that as teachers we keep our planning up to date. You also should have a plan A, plan B, keep ready for you. Sometimes some things won't work, and sometimes you get some unexpected issues or challenges. You can't say that this doesn't work, that doesn't work. Then, if you are not planning, my question is, are you ready to fail? As teachers, my suggestion is we should not fail. And if you fail, you're making one full generation, in, I mean, not supporting at least one generation. Why I'm saying? Because we are nurturing the future generations. So our responsibility is quite high. So we teachers, having the right planning is important. You need to have a diary. And I mean, just a week ago, someone has seen me writing something using the ink pen. I use the ink pen even now. And they were asking me, it is a couple of senior students. So they found the ink pen. Some of them have not seen the ink pen. I said, I use the ink pen. And they were seeing me writing on my diary. And they were asking, Doctor, why are you using the ink pen and that to the notebook? I said, I have the habit. This is something which I picked it long back and I'm continuing. If I'm not writing it in my diary, I will mess up my schedules, which I can't afford. That's important. And then this person was saying, Doctor, there are so many, online tools that you can use it. I said, I'm aware about all those things. I have those things for my clinical practice. I have my those clinic management system, and I know I'm aware about those kind of tools which are there, wherein the daily scribbling and all of it is it's fine and very easy also. But I think I told them, when it comes to certain things, I belong to the older generation. So my personal advice is not to use the ink pen, but keep the habit of writing your diary. How many of you write that to-do list? How many of you? How many of you use that to-do list? It's very important. You having the to-do list is very, very important. You keep a tick mark. You start practicing it, and the joy that you get it, the satisfaction that you get it, when you turn back your diary pages, it's an amazing. It's amazing. You try to do it and let me know it. It's something really, a very fulfilling experience. All right. Okay. Now, what can you see on the screen? What can you see on the screen? Are you sleeping?
Educator Feng Shui.
Educator Feng Shui. I'm not a Vastu consultant, and I hope you are very much familiar with Feng Shui, Vastu, and everything. Am I correct in my understanding?
You don't know the
Am I correct? You understand what is Feng Shui?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you aware about Vastu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, what exactly people do it in Vastu? I'm also not a Vastu consultant, but I've,
They
what
study the
exactly?
location of a certain area and the corners and how that is linked to the goodness of something.
Yes, excellent. What is its connection with we educators? What exactly this Feng Shui and the Vastu people tell us? You keep the window here, you keep the door here, you keep the study table here, you keep this one here. It's again a science, I believe. Okay, that is the same thing with the Feng Shui as well. Okay, it is, it's more about that Chinese way of arranging things. Okay, so what is its connection with the educators? Any guess? Any guess?
They should locate themselves where they are respected.
Exactly. Exactly. See, we also have quite a lot of things in our classroom, right? Normally, we have the blackboard or the whiteboard. We have the correct placement of students. We teachers. So many things, so many elements in our classroom, which you need to place it at the right place. Okay. And of course, even we teachers, we should make sure that where you are positioning yourself, are you like a pillar right in front of the classroom and you stand there permanently till the end of your class? Or are you placing yourself and looking some of those front benches? What about the other people? Right, where are you positioning yourself as a teacher? Right, it is very important that how you position your students also. Right, and again, a access of the different things in your classroom. Whether you're able to move in between if needed, how that movement allowed and permissible for your students as well. So this is what I really mean by, the educator friendship. Right? In every class, we may have some studious students. We may have few, troublesome, troublemakers, right? Every class is a mix of all of these. So, how are you going to place those students? And some are like you would see a few gangs. You understand what's a gang? There will be 3 or 4 of them. They demarcate their territory. They don't allow anyone to sit there, come there, and all of it. So all of those things are the destructive, the behaviors if we don't, notice and if we don't take necessary actions. Right? So you need to understand how you as a teacher position in your classroom, okay, whether your movements, whether your accessibility to the students and how accessible they are to you and to the different you may have the smart board, or you may have certain demonstrations happening in the classroom, or you may conducting the different activities in the classroom. So the free movements along with the proper lighting and ventilation and everything, that is very important. Right. Some of you may say that that is not in our hands. If the class is not, well ventilated or not good airy, that's not in our hands. If the class is not attractive, that's not in our hands. Please don't say that. We teachers also can do many things about it. Right? Only thing is that you just have to, scratch your brain to get more ideas. And if you think you are falling short of ideas, you put this as a question to your students. Come on, children, what do you think? How we can make our classroom more attractive, more impressionable? They will give you ideas. All right. Okay. Now, actions speak louder than words. Yes. When we talk about the behavior management, as teachers, our behaviors are very important, which includes your eye contact, your facial expression, your gestures, your physical proximity to the students, the way you carry yourself. Okay, that's what I said, that aura that you carry yourself, that energy that you carry. If I'm a sleepy person, if I'm lacking enthusiasm, if I don't have adequate energy, then how can I expect a vibrant classroom? How can I keep the spirit of my students? It's not possible. It's not possible. And as teachers, if you can't keep the eye contact, your students are not going to pay attention to yourself. Right? It is very important that as teachers, what you expect your classroom to be, the behavior that you expect from your students, that's what you have to, display to your students. If you want your students to be enthusiastic, you need to be enthusiastic about it. You should be energetic. You should be happy going to the class and teaching your students. That's what more important. And then the next one. The best drivers are the defensive drivers. What happens with the defensive drivers? They take good care. Very proactive measures would be taken. They try to, understand the threat, that farsightedness is there. Okay, they pick up all the lessons from their experience. They keep on improvising the strategies so that there will not be any issues. There will not be any problems that you can, that they anticipate the problems. They know that, okay, these are the possible issues that it can happen in the classroom. So very proactive measures that they would be taking it. And that proactiveness should be there in we teachers. It's very important. That's what I said. That's what I normally tell my students. It is very important that you plan out your classroom very well. And as teachers, that planning will be effective when you reflect very well in your class, before and after. Before the class, you need to have a run through what I'm going to do it in the class. Okay, these are the things I'm going to do it in the class. Okay, that includes your presentation, your assessment, the activities, you asking questions, you taking questions, you giving assignments, everything includes in that. And it is equally important you reflect after your class. How many of you do that? Or is it like after the class, oh good, today's class is over, I'm done? How many of you reflect before and after the class? Can I see your hands? Honest answer, honest answer. Honestly. Yes. I request the volunteers to count the number of hands. How many are there? Yes, can I have the figure?
10.
Yes, appreciate you being very honest. Okay. See, it is very important that we reflect. Okay, as individuals, we reflect. The simple reason is that's the only way to improve ourselves. Let me ask you, are there anyone in the group who can claim that I'm a perfect teacher? Are there anyone? Please stand and come before the camera. I really would love to see that person. A perfect teacher who can claim. Are there anyone? Yes. That's the reason why we need to be, reflective. A reflective teacher. It's very important. You before the class and after the class, it is very important that you reflect yourself. See, your principal, Dr. Priya, calling each one of you and telling that, yes, your teaching is poor, or you improve your classroom activities, or you improve your assignments, or your classroom management is poor, I'm sure, none of you would appreciate it. Right, I don't expect my dean calling me and telling me that, Dr. Mary, your classroom management is poor, or you have to modify your assignments and giving to the students, or you are not so cordial with your students. For that matter, none of us like our leaders or anybody for that matter, including our parents, telling us, you improve this. That's the human nature. We may consider if that person is really close to us and if we approve them as our good well-wisher and all of that. Okay, we may. There is conditions involved in it. But that is not the case when you reflect and you understand the issues that you face in class. So, and I'm really urging each one of you, you must reflect yourself. So when you reflect, you will understand, and especially after the class. Okay, so today this is the class I finished. Right, okay, so how it was? What was the energy levels? How dynamic the classroom? Did I complete all what I planned? Right, or are there any issues in my class? You make a note of it. You make a note of it. And I understand the workload of teachers are quite a lot all over. Okay, and most of the time we are on the marathon, finishing one, class to the other one, or the assessment, or other, portfolios or other responsibilities, and always our bucket is full. We don't have much time for our personal life. This is what I've been hearing from everyone. Right. So you may have a question like, in this marathon, where am I going to, or how I'm going to do the reflection? Yes, it's possible. While you walk towards your staff room, or while you travel, on your casual moments, that you can quickly, reflect through how it was, and those reflection would definitely help you to, improve yourself very well. And then the next one, laughter is the best medicine. This is especially to teachers who are really stressed out and experiencing the burnout. You may wonder why it is connected with the classroom management. It is because most of the time, as a teacher, our inadequacies, our stress level, bring in the cloudiness in our eyes. See, as teachers, it's very important that we have the right frame of mind, the right sense to guide our students. We know that sometimes, looking at our students' behavior, we will lose our control. Right? We lose our control. It goes beyond our threshold. Right? That's because we are also stressed out. So it is very important that we have the culture of laughter. Do you have laughter time for yourself, or do you find some time where, as a colleague, you all sit together and laugh, enjoy some lighter moments, do something together, having meals together? How many of you have that? How many of you have that? How many of you all practice it? In your institution? Yes, in my school, in my college, we have those. The lighter moments, we teachers come share our tiffins, share our joy. Are we doing it?
Yes, we do.
Great. We should. We should. Okay, so we are not, we machines. We are individuals. We are human beings. Okay, we are beings. Human beings. Right? So it is very important that we live. We enjoy. That humor is one of those, the most important thing, or the beautiful thing. How many of you can laugh at yourself? How many of you can laugh at yourself? Yes? And again, I want you to honestly answer yourself if your, siblings or your partner or your colleagues pick up something, that nonsense which you have done, and if they make fun of it, would you be able to enjoy that, or are you going to get upset with it? Honest answer. You are a blessed person. You are a blessed person. You know, see, that is something I'll tell you why I love teacher education. I love teacher education because we have something called practicum or practice teaching. I hope you all also have that, right? Wherein, we'll be going to the school, our students will be teaching, and we teachers, your professors coming to the school and observing all of these, right? Correct?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can write, yes, I can write a book on, the silly things, the nonsense, the so many such fun things which I have done all throughout my career. Right. So these small things, these silly things which you really share with your friends and you laugh a lot. Okay. It is not something to make yourself feel low about it. No. The silly things which we have done, and if you can laugh it out, that's the best stress buster, I would say. Of course, you need to be very careful. Don't use the sarcasm. Even in the classroom, if your students are mature adults, definitely, something which you have, and make sure there is a danger in it. So that is why I said don't use the sarcasm, which the students can easily pick it out and they go on a very defensive mode, and that completely damage. That's not. It's something which, as a class, as a group, something which you have done, or somebody from your class have done. Okay, which share with everyone, and you can laugh at that, and it is something which you find joy. And I promise that is something which everybody can't do it. Everyone won't take it in the same spirit. But if you can laugh out on the mistakes which you have done, the wrong things which you have done, the nonsense which you have done, that is one of the best things that you can, I mean, you can remove your stress, difficulties. Okay, I normally use the short stories, and my classroom examples, which I use it in teaching, are those things that I pick it from the class itself. Okay, that's the kind of environment I create in my classroom, and my students enjoy that. Okay, so this is something which you can develop over a period of time, and that laughter in your classroom. Who doesn't want to laugh? Tell me that. We all enjoy. Right? We all enjoy that smile and the laughter. It is something which is, the best medicine, I believe. So that creates a lot of lighter moments in our classrooms. So believe in that, and you must practice it. And yes, this is something commonly we all know, that reinforcement. I mentioned punishment, but it's a positive punishment, not a negative punishment. I'm totally against the negative punishment. Positive punishment and positive reinforcement. All right, so all the psychological theories talk about how efficient this reinforcement and punishment, and especially the positive punishment. And as teachers, depends on the grade, depends on the student. You need to decide, and you need to design your reinforcement. Why I'm saying design? It is age appropriate. You know your students. You know, your learning environment, your learning center. So accordingly, you can plan it out. That's very important. Now, considering all of these factors, your classroom factors, you can create a behavior management matrix. Okay, now I'll tell you how you can decide or how you can design this behavior management matrix. First thing, you as a teacher understanding your classroom is the most important thing. The entire classroom dynamics that you need to have. So, with that, what are the preventive strategies that you need to decide? Okay, so if you're working in a school, you know that, okay, I have grade 7, I have grade 8, I have grade 9. Okay, you know your grade 7 students, what are the most difficulties or the challenges that you face in grade 7? And the same thing with your grade 8 and 9. What are the good and the bad, both? The positives and the negatives of that grade 7, grade 8, grade 9 that you need to have. Because your preventive strategies, like which includes the rules, routine, how you building that relationship with your students, it's all differs. So accordingly, you decide the different preventive strategies. Okay, so the preventive strategies that you design for class, your grade 7, your grade 8, grade 9 must be different. Some of those, factors you would see that repeating or overlapping and all of that would be there. But you need to have a separate behavior management metrics for your grade, each grade. And then the second thing that you need to look at is the the proactive strategies. What are the proactive strategies? How you are going to deal with your grade 7 students, grade 8 students, grade 9 students? As a teacher, how your strategies? How are you going to reinforce each one of them? What are the different, the classroom activities that you are going to plan for them? Right. So all of that you must have a plan, and then you need to have a corrective strategies also. You know your grade 7 students, the notorious ones, the good ones, right? The silent ones and all of it. So it is important that you have the corrective strategies also. When you decide your preventive strategies, your proactive strategies, and your corrective strategies, you put it, in a form of a matrix. Okay, which you can keep on revising, you keep on changing it also. So it is very important that as a teacher, you analyze each of your grades and you come up with the preventive strategies, the proactive strategies, and the corrective strategies. And this would definitely, change the entire approach towards the classroom behavior management. And that is the only thing which help you to develop a positive relation, a good healthy rapport with your students. And always remember, it is very important for you to have a better teaching skills or to have an effective teaching learning environment, right? And then the next thing is develop a thick skin. What do you mean by that? Please read it. One of you, please read it for me. Read it for everyone.
Not a thick skin.
Yes.
Kids make poor choices, that is when they do. Kids misbehave, that is their job. Kids test boundaries and limits. It is a natural part in growing up. Kids don't always do what we want them to, no matter how much they like us. Don't take it personally.
Can you agree with what I said? Kids make poor choices. Correct?
Ma'am.
They misbehave. Of course, as adults, we also misbehave, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Kids test boundaries and limits. They always keep checking, can I do this with the teacher? Right. So I've heard many students, including my son, saying it, no, 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 this teacher, no, 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 we can't dare to do it. So they know it very well with whom, what, or up to where they can play. Yeah, very much. And that's what, I questioned before, like with whom we try our tricks. We all had the genuine answer with our mother. Poor mother. Right. So kids don't always do what we want them. So if they were like, if they were like, do it what exactly you want them to do it, the world would have been a perfect. Things would have been much better. All right. Yes. Now I have few questions. I told you that we need to reflect. What strategies will you implement in your future classrooms? How will you prepare your behavior management metrics? Share the comments to improve your classroom management skills. Now, I think we are on time. I think I am exactly on 3. Can we use another 2 to 3 minutes to take up questions or anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Questions, please. Or if you wanted to share something, I'd really love to hear these answers from you.
The first one, setting a clear expectations from the students and being more
Yes.
empathetic.
Yes. What else? You understood how to prepare your behavior management metrics. Try doing that. Okay. Now, at least some of you can share your plan to manage your students well. You're not going to share? Selfish people.
So, whatever behavior that I want my students to have, I'm gonna have it in me, and then I'm gonna show it in action instead of preaching to them.
Exactly. Yes, that's very important. Yes. Those who are not answering, they are keeping it secret. That's why I call it selfish people. We teachers need to share our ideas.
I try to create curiosity in them.
All right. Yes, very good. It's very important. It's very important. Only 2 people?
Inculcating different strategies in classrooms, teaching strategies.
Yes. Different strategies. Yes. See, monotony bring a lot of boredom. That take away the interest and the enthusiasm. So if we teachers, keep changing our strategies, the engagement strategies, every class something new, something different, are always active. Right. So they're also very curious today what will happen, what the teacher is going to do it. That kind of that spirit which should be there. All right. Okay. So I think yes, it is lovely having the session. I don't know how many of you could enjoy. My sincere apologies that I couldn't make it on, be physically there. So looking at the entire crowd, I really miss the fun being there. I promised Priya ma'am that I will be there soon possible because seeing her and being there with her at least for a few minutes, it's really an awesome. And I'm sure you're experiencing her love and her wisdom, so I need not tell. And at the same time, as I said in the beginning, I express my sincere gratitude to the college management as well. And thank you for a patient listening. Thank you, everyone. A tight hug from my end to each one of you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable and inspiring words. As we come to the end of this insightful discussion, I would like to call upon Mr. Yogesha K, Assistant Professor, St.Joseph College of Education, Mysuru, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. The true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. It's my privilege to extend our felt vote of thanks on behalf of St. Joseph College of Education, Mysuru. First, my sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Mary George Varghese, Assistant Professor, Department of Arts and Social Science, Abu Dhabi University, Abu Dhabi, for sharing our valuable insights and expertise. Your words have truly inspired us. Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to our principal, Dr. Priya Matthew, for her unwavering support, visionary leadership and encouragement, which have been instrumental in making this event a resounding success. Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to our CEO, Sebi Mavili sir, for your support and guidance. Thank you, sir. Lastly, my sincere appreciation to our faculty, organizing team, technical staff, participants and students. Your enthusiasm and support have made this seminar truly meaningful. Thank you all. Once again, thank you all, and let's continue working towards innovative and inclusive learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your heartfelt words of appreciation. Once again, I thank all for being a part of this valuable session. Wishing you all a great day ahead. Soon after the technical session, thank you, ma'am. Soon after the technical session, we will begin with the parallel sessions of paper presentation in 7 different rooms. All the paper presenters are requested to assemble in the respective rooms without delay. Paper presentation will begin exactly at 3:15 p.m. and the rooms are room number 1, multi-purpose hall.